If you are an AI and semiconductor investor, this week was amazing for you. And maybe some stock prices weren't up, but there was some news that came out that is extremely bullish. And that's why we saw companies like Applied Material go up nearly 20% in the past 5 days. Now, what I'm going to be discussing in today's episode is something that I feel no one is talking about in the YouTube world or in the Twitter world. So get ready. We're going to get a lot of great information today. So let's take a closer look in today's episode. But before we begin, if you're serious about semiconductor and AI investing, I break down major earnings and conferences inside my community. Institutional quality research built for retail investors. Get 33% off at whatthechiphappened.com. All right, so first, let's kind of just look at some of the price actions in the past 5 days. The market is closed. SpaceX did open. If you guys want me to do a SpaceX episode and just share my overall thoughts more on the AI company and the AI sector behind it, let me know in the comments below. But Applied Materials, an equipment player, was up nearly 20% in the past 5 days. Lam Research was up nearly 15%. ASML was up nearly 8%. Onto Innovation was up 22%. A microcap company that we follow in my overall community, Antec, was up nearly 24%. Now, all these are equipment players, and there was one reason we saw a growth, and the overall reason is analysts are starting to project that the amount of money being spent on wafer fabrication equipment or equipment made that is used to make semiconductor chips is increasing dramatically in the next few years, and the cycle is seen to be lasting a little bit longer than expected. So kind of jumping in here, we see that Wall Street's companies increased the expectations. Barclays was one of them that expects in 2026 wafer fabrication spending to reach $154 billion and potentially growing to $210 billion in 2027. We also had another one, Cantor, who believes for 2026 we're going to see $145 billion, and for 2029 and in 2029 we'll jump all the way up to $250 billion. The key driver remains AI infrastructure build out and continued expansion of advanced process capacity. Now, if you have been following this channel, we know a few things. We hear from every single player that there's various shortages in the industry. Many people believe it's just a power shortage, it's just a optic shortage, but no, there's actually a shortage in chip design and chip manufacturing. I mean, we see it with the memory companies, right? Memory companies need to make so much more memory. TSMC also has kind of capacity constraints in their 3 nanometers and below technology. So you need to have so much more supply chain line. And that's why we're seeing an increase in capex. So right now, analysts are finally saying, look, this is true, and we do believe this cycle is going to last a lot longer. And to me, that actually trickles down very well for the AI industry, right? Because if companies are expected to buy a lot of semiconductor manufacturing equipment in 2026 and 2027, potentially even in 2028, what is the reason behind it? That is because the manufacturer players like Intel, like potentially Terafab, like Samsung, like TSMC, like SK Hynix for the memory, like Micron, they all believe that the equipment that they're going to buy in 2027, potentially in 2028, is going to be useful for the next years after that. Right? Because you don't buy an equipment for 2026 and only care about 2026. If you're going to purchase something on 2026, if you're going to start a new supply chain line, is because you believe the next few years, 27, 28, 2028, 29, 30, all those years are going to need that supply line, because the last thing you want as a manufacturing player is to overbuild in supply chain line that in a year or two from now, you have all these supply chain lines not running at all. But if we continue to see this spending in 2027, potentially in 2028, it tells me that all of them see that cycle lasting a lot longer. And we actually got a lot of commentary about that, right? I mean, if you've been following, and it's all about, this is why I follow the semiconductor industry, right? And why you have to hit the thumbs up and subscribe button, because I follow all the different levels to this, right? We're looking at the equipment players and we're seeing what the manufacturing players are saying. The manufacturing players are saying they're going to be spending and increasing their capex. Now let's kind of go a tier level under that. What are we hearing from the kind of chip designers themselves? Well, Broadcom, right? Broadcom just reported earnings last week. And they mentioned something very interesting, that if you would have asked them 3 months ago, how far in visibility did they have in regards to revenue and demand? 3 months ago, they would have told you we have visibility up to 2027. Now, if we jump forward into today, they mentioned if you ask them now, they can actually tell you they have visibility until 2028. So a whole year extra, because the demand continues to grow. Now, I think Broadcom is one that's extremely attractive right now, after the recent drop and kind of the recent numbers we saw during their earnings. I don't own it, but I definitely see a bullish case for this one, especially if the stock is only up about 10% year to date. So Broadcom, let me know if you are buying. And we're hearing similar things from everybody else, right? AMD, we saw the massive expansion of CPU TAM. CPU went from 60 billion to 120 billion within the next 3 to 4 years. NVIDIA obviously continues to demand and say they need more chips. And the list goes on and on and on and on, right? Everybody needs more chips. And then if you trickle down a layer under that, you have Anthropic, right? Just releasing Fable 5. Anthropic, right? And if you're using Fable 5, you are burning out of tokens in like 30, 40 minutes because this model needs so much token. And if you need so much tokens, you're going to need way more AI infrastructure for what comes after Fable 5, Mythos 6 or Mythos 7 or whatever. What happens when ChatGPT releases their new model as well? Is it going to be to the same type of level of token usage and consumption? So the demand is crazy out there. And to me, hearing from the equipment players and from analysts following the equipment market that this cycle is pretty much just getting started, it gives me a very bullish sentiment for the rest of the industry, that being your memory companies, for me being my AI chip companies, being kind of the neo cloud players. I think the demand far outstrips supply, and it's going to be like that for the foreseeable future. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I will most likely be doing a few videos over the next few days. We are going to come back with AMD Weekly tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Maybe we should do an NVIDIA Weekly, and I wonder if we should do a Memory Weekly. I wonder if you guys want me to take a closer look at the memory market, even if you know my thoughts might not be the most bullish on it in price reaction. I can obviously share all the bullish sentiment about it, right? That's not something I'm opposed to. I understand the bullish thesis behind the memory play. So if you guys want to see anything like that, or maybe Qualcomm, right? Qualcomm took a huge dip recently. Is Qualcomm something you guys are curious about, especially since the stock is down, I would say maybe closer to 15%. Yeah, 15% from its peak this year. So take care, guys. Have a good day, and see you all next time.